Can you change your past? Let me help you unravel that. A better way to pose this question is, what is your past outside of your perception of it from where you are right now? Think about what your past represents to you. How you think about your past is really about your emotional record of it. It is continuing to have an emotional imprint on your present. Chances are, if you've experienced an event in the past that was highly emotionally charged, anytime you feel something close to that emotion now, you are brought right back to the moment of the highly charged event where the similar emotion first occurred. So in your present experience, you could say you are still exploring the trigger of this emotion. In other words, you're not done with it. There's some polarity, some contrast of being that you're still trying to decide between. Some lesson hasn't been integrated yet. You feel this emotion, or anything in this particular bandwidth of energy, just as strongly as you did yesterday, or last year, or 10 years ago. In other words, your past is your present. It is your now, inasmuch as it is holding emotional resonance for you. This is just one way of beginning to understand that there is no past or future. There are only now moments existing simultaneously. Your past is just a now moment where you are continuing to explore and invest in the emotional imprint of choices that you're still making. The strong resonance or memory of something you experienced as your past is staying strong because of your ability to fund it with your observation, your attention, your focus, and sustained emotional reaction to it. The past is just really a point of perspective in your now, rather than a point in the continuum of time. The memory of the past also stays strong when you are continuing to explore all the choices you could have made, the things you might have done. You are creating many offshoot timelines when you do this, where you are funding different versions of yourself, pursuing all the other choices you created in your mind. And this gets pretty convoluted in your energy very, very quickly. This is siphoning off precious creative energy of your now, where you are wanting to pursue the God choices. These are where you're actively making decisions that are aligning with your highest and best good, the highest and best good of all, and with the least amount of resistance for all involved. So how do you begin to clean this up? Collapse all those quote-unquote past timelines, which are really parallel timelines, that keep you exploring polarity and contrast. And then shift this to begin to fund or concentrate your energy in the now, where you are pursuing your God choices. You can sit yourself down and write down all the ways you are fragmenting your energy by thinking about a past event that is still highly charged for you emotionally, and how the event would have, could have, should have, or how you wanted it to play out differently. Looking at what you've written, you can say out loud, I am unhooking from any and all timelines where I have already explored and am continuing to explore polarity and contrast around blank. Fill that in with the event or the experience or the emotional imprint or feelings that you're grappling with. Continue by saying, I am so grateful for where I am and for making the God choice in all events and experiences now. You'll notice a shift in your perception of the present. You might have a few bouts of déjà vu. That's normal. And you'll be gifted with many opportunities to make the God choice when those familiar emotions start to creep up that triggered you before, because they created a driving force of how you experienced you in your past. You'll get to experience you differently as you continue to make choices for your highest good and the highest good of all. And when you experience or perceive you differently as a result of the positive shift in your choices, your perception of past you changes along with it. Because there's no longer past you, the one that is still exploring all the polarity, all the duality, all the contrast. There's only present you. This is where the bulk of the funding of your attention is going. This is where you're exploring choices in the now that are aligned with funding the highest expression of you via the God choices you're making. In other words, the emotional imprint and memory of your past fades and dissolves because your energy is no longer invested in it. You have changed your past. In fact, there are many things you don't remember from your past simply because you've made God choices that have made the lesson of the experience complete. How do you feel this knowledge can help you? You don't have to just take my word for all this. In fact, don't. Play with this. Play with time. Know that you are a time bender and see what experiences unfold for you.